Now is always a good moment to start. Now is the day where we finally announce the competitions, the big screen competition and the 8 nominees for the Tiger competition of this year's International Film Festival Rotterdam. My name is Bero Beyer, I'm festival director, and I am slightly euphoric. Not just because of the lineup, but also because some of the filmmakers are actually here and we're going to have a little chat with them on the couch. If you have questions and you are on Facebook watching this, use Twitter, hashtag IFFR 2019, and maybe we can answer the question during the session or right after. But now is also a moment to think of the beginning. In 2 weeks' time, on Wednesday the 23rd, we'll open with a film that we're very proud of showing the world premiere. It's a film that kind of exemplifies this year's theme of Feel IFFR, because maybe it's because of the area in which we live, of fake news and of post-truth and new paranoia and border walls, but somehow we don't really know how to deal with emotions. We seem to be skeptical about them and often hide them away in the cellar of our personality. But that's actually only where emotions like fear and hate and xenophobia foster and thrive. But cinema is an emotional medium, so let's bring those emotions out, push ourselves out of our comfort zone, engage in the emotions, and maybe the experience of that will bring us new meaning, new answers maybe, or at least new questions. Questions like, what is a victim? And what is just simply a complex, very beautiful human being? Our opening film is Dirty God. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations, first of all, on an awesome movie.
Thank you.
I want to ask you real quick, can you, because you were after Zurich, I think, or maybe even during Zurich, which premiered in Berlin, you were working on this project, then called Jade still, I believe. We met a couple times about this project. What was the main thing, your motivation to delve into this particular topic and character?
Well, I saw a young woman with facial scars on a festival, and I looked at her and I flinched, and I looked again, and I saw everybody around her looking and looking away, and I thought, well, if something like that has happened to you in your face, and your face is your identity, it's your first portal of communication, it's something you can never hide away from. So I thought this is such a dramatic thing for a film.
It surely is. At what point did you reach out to actors, actresses to work with?
Well, my first idea was I want to make this film with a real burn survivor. So that was the first search, and I think we met about 4 years ago. So I found Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Hello.
And yeah, I was extremely happy to have found her, and yeah, I took her. She did all the auditions with all the other actors, so it was a long process.
So, Vicky, did you what do you think of the script when you got it? Did she tell you everything, or was it a process for you to get involved?
We met quite a few times before we went on to the script. I was told a bit of information about what the film was about, but not in too much detail. Then I got the script, I think a few weeks before we started shooting. We did some auditions for some scenes just to see how it would work, and if I connected with the other actors, which I did. Then we went through the script, and then, yeah, we just...
And this is your first feature film,
This
correct?
is my first feature film, yeah. This is my first ever acting part. I normally work in a hospital, so it's a lot different to acting.
What was the main feeling you took from that shooting experience?
For the whole experience?
Yeah.
I was just... Well, I've got no words still for it. I'm just so proud of myself that I've managed to do it, because, you know, I've got bad days and weren't feeling too good about myself, but since doing the film I just feel on top of the world now, you know. I want to show people that you can do it whatever's wrong, you know. So.
Thank you, thank you. Sasha, one last question. The music in the movie is awesome. How much time did you spend on finding all those artists? Some of them are even performing in the film. Can we briefly discuss it?
Yeah, well, at a certain point I thought it would be nice to have a rap artist as a friend of Vicky in the film. So then we did auditions with loads of London-based actors, and then for that particular role we found another actress, but I decided to have them at parties performing or in the group of friends surrounding Jade.
Very nice. Hopefully we'll have some surprise during the festival about that as well. Knock on wood. After opening night, you guys have to go someplace. Where are you going?
Sundance.
Almost as cool as we are. Ladies and gentlemen, the team from Dirty God. Time for our big screen competition lineup, which includes these 8 films. And let's spend a little more time with one of those filmmakers. Thank you for being here, first of all.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, really love the film. What strikes me in the film is that it deals with some very dramatic events.
Yes.
Poor Doreen has quite a lot of setbacks that she faces, including serious potential health issues, a relationship by her husband, an affair. Clearly her parents are having an affair. How did you manage to keep that dramatic element balanced with humor, and how important is that for you?
Humor in general is for me very important, because I think I always use it as a tool in life as well, to compete dramatic situations or bad luck, and to elevate myself through it, I guess. And so I think it also shows in the things that I make, and it's a quite specific tone. I heard it as well from people who know my work, and so I noticed that it was sort of the same tone that I used to make in short films as well. I really think from the beginning in the script period that I'm writing the script, that I really take care of that everything is balanced. And it's as well, it's a definition of tragedy is like that you find humor in very tragic things, and very tragic things are humorous as well. And I really took a lot of effort in casting my main character as well, and she's also not an actress like Vicky. It's just a mom that I met at school, and I thought she was really good on screen, and so I checked her out. But in the first casting we did, she was kind of very good, and so I noticed very much her talent. But then I didn't find her humor, and then I casted a lot of other actresses, and then by coincidence I got to know her better, because she fell in love with the best friend of my husband. And so apparently she was a very wild woman with a lot of good humor. So I asked her back, and then it was right away, boom. And I also took care very much that the other actors, all the cast that is in my movie, that they have like a good basic humorous interpretation of things, because I strongly believe I'm really much in love with actors, that I'm not in love, but I mean that I really like actors who can do humor, because I think it's the hardest thing to do, to play in a humorous way. And if you can do humor in a very good way, you can also do drama in a very good way. That's my belief.
Nice. If you can do humor, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Voila. There you go. So you're in big screen competition. Do you know who's going to judge your film?
I don't know yet, and I'm very excited about it, because I really would like to I really like that an audience, a huge and big audience, will enjoy the movie. And I hear there's like 5 people selected.
Yes.
And it's, as a filmmaker, it's a really honor to be judged by just audience people, and as well, of course, jury of the industry is very important. But I think it's very nice that my movie is as well here as a world premiere. So I'm very proud to present it here at the International Film Festival of Rotterdam.
We are proud that you're here, and especially in big screen competition, where 5 selected audience members become a jury to determine which film has to be in the cinemas in any case, and we make sure that that happens together with VPRO and NPO, who then broadcast the film 2 years later. Ladies and gentlemen, the best of Doreen Bay. Now then to Tiger competition. 8 films which each premiere on one single day. It's Take Me Somewhere Nice by Anna Sendijarevich. Let's talk a little bit more about that one. What strikes immediately is the form and the shape. Before we speak about the film itself, the concept of shooting the film, was that simultaneously, or did you have form over story?
I didn't get the question.
Well, the camera movement, the framing, the aspect ratio, they're a quite strong element of the film. And did you think of that form first and then came up with a story, or was the story there first and you thought, this is the way we're going to shoot this thing?
No, this went hand in hand. Actually, the grammar of the film is part of the storytelling in this film. For me, I wanted to use humor in a very stylized form to make the viewers or the audience aware that I, as a filmmaker, am constructing this reality. And because the topics that I'm handling in this film are migration and identity, and I wanted to show the audience that these topics, when we talk about migration or identity, it's all about construction. So the film grammar is also part of the storytelling. Maybe it came even before the story. Yeah.
So just real quick, the story is about a Dutch Bosnian girl who goes back to Bosnia and then hooks up with her nephew to go find her dad, basically, correct? But that's not the real part of the story. What would you want people to take with them mostly from seeing the film? What was your main goal?
Yes. So the plot line is actually very simple. It is, you can see the film as a kind of coming-of-age film, but we inverted the genre, so to say. And what I wanted to do with this film, because I'm a Dutch filmmaker, but I have a Bosnian roots, and sometimes I feel a little bit lost between those worlds, and I feel a little bit schizophrenic, so to say. And I wanted to express this schizophrenia through cinema, because I feel that now that we are living in this ever globalizing world, there are more and more people who don't feel like they are only part of one nation. Especially young people who grew up with internet and they don't even feel any boundaries. So through this film, I wanted to explore. I wanted maybe to broaden up this concept of having just one identity that consists of just one country, and that's it. And the other thing I wanted to do with the film is play a little bit with stereotypes and cliches, because I think when we use humor to approach them, then they become less harmful. So
Good couch.
yeah, the humor couch. That's nice.
Well, there's a line which is in quite many actually of especially the Tiger films where and we've seen it also in Dirty God and in Best of Dream Bay, that there's an element of authenticity, especially concerning the cast. So how do you find your main actress?
Well, we saw a lot of. I mean, it needed to be a Bosnian Dutch girl. So this was we didn't have that many girls to choose from, and this is why I was very, very happy that Sara Luna came to the casting, because she was exactly the type of girl I was looking for, because she's very young and she's very rebellious, very just an exciting view on the world that she has. I mean, she's grown up in this, so to say, Instagram generation. She has a very free and open mind, but I could notice that because she's now on the border between puberty and becoming an adult, that she was also having so many question marks above her head, like what am I in this world and what can I become, and that I could see that this was also frightening to her. Yeah. And I think that this intensity, she brought this to the set. So yeah, she's at the same time, I would say, fearless and also very much afraid for the world and her place in it. And yes, I immediately fell in love with her. So
I'm sure we will too. I like the fact that you mentioned very many emotions, which is very fitting as well. So here you have it, 8 films in Tiger competition. These are the titles and the stills. These are the filmmakers involved, and what a handsome lot they are. And there's a bunch of other people that are coming to the festival, that are giving masterclasses and talks, that are presenting, that are giving context to those questions that those films raise, questions about our own humanity and place in life. And now finally the closing film. It's been a while confirming it, but just this morning we are able to say our closing film is The Hummingbird Project by Kim Nguyen, starring Jesse Eisenberg, and this is Alexander Skarsgård, who is actually looking terribly bold in the movie. This is our end of the festival, Saturday evening, Volkskrantdag obviously after that. It's a long while until we're there. First opening film, Dirty God, in 2 weeks. I wish you all a plethora of emotions and a very nice experience, and I expect to see all of you at IFFR number 48. Thank you so much.